Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you're new, then welcome to this place for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and tonight we are going to be doing the post-series finale Q&A for Game of Thrones. I asked you guys to ask me a few questions, and some of y'all did, so I'm just going to answer them. There's not too many, so hopefully it'll be a quick, short video, and I won't ramble on too much. I meant to film this a few days ago, but well, honestly, I've just been playing BioShock Infinite, and it's hard to convince myself to do anything else but play that game because it's so good. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I have no actual excuse. Without any more rambling, let's just get to the first question, and it is from Sam L., and he said, 1, where do you think Drogon went? I think he took Dany to Valyria. And 2, out of all of the seasons, which is your favorite? Season 4 would be my choice, for what it's worth. Okay, well, where do I think Drogon took Dany? I think he would have taken her to Valyria or Essos, which Valyria is in Essos, so yeah, pretty much. And out of all the seasons, which is my favorite, you know, it's really hard to pick a favorite, like, overall season. There's definitely moments in certain seasons that I really, really love. I think I do agree with you, season 4 is one of the best. I would say 3 and 4 are probably my two favorites. Two of my favorites, rather. Maybe 1, though, because there's something so great about the first season. You know, just the writing and the acting and the world building is so spectacular that it's really hard to beat season 1 for me, personally. The next question is from Cristóbal Mendoza, or Cristóbal Mendoza. I'm sorry, I'm really not great with names or talking, or, you know, tell me how to say it, and if you ever say anything again, I'll remember. Your question was, what is your favorite episode? What storyline do you wish they had done better? And if you read the books, would you do reviews on them when they are finally released? Okay, well, my favorite episode is, again, it's another really difficult one because there's so many great episodes and moments throughout the entire show. Probably the episode that sticks out the most, and not because I love it, but because I just think it's such an iconic and truly insane episode of television, is the Red Wedding. You know, it's not my favorite for sure, but it's pretty great. Up there in iconic television moments. I would say probably the first episode that comes to my mind is 608-01, just because we get the moment of a girl is Arya Stark and I'm going home, which is one of my favorite moments. You know, I'm all about my girl Arya. And the second part of the question is, what storyline do you wish they had done better? Immediately, I just think Dorne. I personally really would have loved to have seen more of Arya's book adventures in Braavos translated onto the screen, because she does a lot more than just wash bodies and hang out in the Hall of Many Faces. You know, like, she has so many things that she does. She runs into, like, somebody from the Night's Watch, and she meets Sam, and obviously they changed a lot of that, but I think that would have been really cool if they had kept those storylines in. The last question is, if you read the books, would you do reviews on them when they're finally released? And I do read the books. You know, here's a few of them right here. I have more, but they're kind of all mismatched. I got them at different times. I would really love, like, the really pretty new ones that they're coming out with, if I can ever afford to get them. But yeah, I love the books. I would love to do, like, a review / book club thing with the new books if they ever come out. I just started reading Fire and Blood, so yeah, if y'all are interested in that at all, just let me know. Like, I would love to do book clubs about any kind of books, because I really love reading, and I've been really bad about reading lately, so if y'all give me an excuse to read, that would be awesome. The next question is from Richard Davis, and he said, where would you like Arya to end up? And I would say that I'm actually overall happy with Arya's ending in the show. The only problem I have with it, and literally if they changed one line, I would have been completely happy, is that she says goodbye to Jon and her family as though she's never going to come back. And I understand the dangers of this world, but I would have liked for her to have said, like, I can't, at least not for a few years, you know, or for a little while, when she's talking to Jon about not being able to visit him at the wall. Because I feel like if they had added like that one line, I would have been totally over the moon with her storyline, because she lived, which is 90% of what I want for Arya. I wouldn't have minded her going north of the wall with Jon. Maybe Nymeria could have joined. Her and Ghost could start like a whole new wolf pack of dire wolves. I really wanted Nymeria to come back, so that was upsetting. I'm not saying she had to come back and be Arya's pet, but just to show back up again would have been a cool moment. You know, I just want Arya to end up wherever Arya wants to end up, really. And for me, so much of Arya's story is about coming home and being with her family and these people that she loves, and in particular Jon. Like in the books, which I know different than the show, you don't have to tell me, don't worry, I know. But, you know, when she first kills somebody for the first time, when she's still like really young and everything, she's worried about how her mom and Robb are going to react to her, but she knows that Jon will still love her, will still support her and take her in and everything. So I've seen a lot of people make the argument that Arya doesn't belong with her family anymore, which I disagree with, because she seems to fit way better with Sansa now, and her and Jon are still on the same level that they've always been. So it's not like she doesn't have a place there. She does. My ideal ending for Arya is with her family, because I feel like that's Arya's ideal ending. And I mean, we'll see what happens in the show, or we'll see what happens in the books, but yeah, I guess that's my ideal for her. But I actually am not at all mad at where she ended up on the show. Like, I'm not mad at it. I'm not. But if they changed like one thing, I would have been super happy with it. The next question is from Edwin B, and he said, who do you think would be Tyrion's second pick? I think it would be Podrick. I don't know that Tyrion had a second pick. I think his first pick probably would have been Jon, but of course what Jon did made him ineligible to be the pick. And so, Gendry, maybe? My second pick would have been Tyrion, personally, but I don't know who Tyrion's second pick would be. I'm gonna say Gendry. I have no reason for that. I just think it would have been cool if the show had sort of bookended with a Baratheon on the throne. Next question is from Victor63, and he said, or she, I guess, I don't know, how do you feel about Jon's story arc? Okay, so that's a tricky one, because I don't hate Jon ending up north of the wall with Ghost, or on the wall with Ghost. We don't really know. He could have just been taking the wildlings to get settled and then coming back. You know, he's a ranger. That maybe he's a ranger, maybe he's Lord Commander. We don't know what his position is now in the Night's Watch. So I don't hate that for him, but I feel like so much of his story arc makes no sense when it goes that way. Jon is the actual embodiment of A Song of Ice and Fire. He's a Targaryen and he's a Stark. And it just feels like so much of his storyline is kind of pointless with the way that it ends, just because if the most important question in these books is who is Jon Snow's mother, if this is the question that is so important that it's the one thing that George R. R. Martin needed David and Dan to know in order to make this show, why does it not matter at all in the end? You know? It's supposed to be the most important question, the question that got these people hired to make this show. So why does it not matter? Like, he's Jon Targaryen, or Aegon, I still remember the name, but putting that aside, he's a Targaryen, but that doesn't matter. Like, the only thing that Jon knowing about his parentage did was push Dany over the edge. And I feel like if that's all that it's building up to, it doesn't make sense. I don't think George R.R. Martin is going to name this A Song of Ice and Fire when Jon is A Song of Ice and Fire, and then have the only importance of the fact that he is A Song of Ice and Fire being that it pushes Dany over the edge. The last question is from my girl Amber B888, and she said, if you could choose just one character to make it to the end who died during the show, who would it have been? And my immediate gut reaction is Ned Stark. Like, I love Ned Stark, and I think it is such a shame that we only got one season with him. I understand that that would actually make the show and the books not at all what they are, because, you know, everything that happens to Ned is what sets everything in motion. But I like Ned. I love Ned. If not Ned, I think Robb. My Starks. You know, I'm gonna pick my Starks. I can't help but pick my Starks. But yeah, I think Ned or Robb is who I would choose to live, because I just love them. I just want my Starks to be okay, and most of them are, so I can't complain. I'm not complaining about that. That is all the questions that y'all had. I hope that I answered them somewhat satisfactory without too much rambling, and this is not a super long video that I'm forcing y'all to endure. I have super loved watching and talking about Game of Thrones with y'all for these past few seasons. I hope to see y'all again on some other reactions later. I hope that there will be some cool ones coming up. Until next time. Bye, guys.